Hello, today is March the 6th, 2021. We always start with our disclaimer, then we go over our calls, make some predictions, and the weekends, and we always look at the longer term picture. It's my trading plan for Monday, the 8th of March, 2021. Trade at your own risk. Follow the rules of my channel. Emails mejt.trades@gmail.com. Look for the pattern today with the early high. This is it. Looked for a rally day. We got that. We had a target of 3849.09. Didn't print yesterday. It's referred time frame, but it did print today. And as usual, there was resistance over the price. Monday's pattern has the early high. During the day, we had this huge drop. MEJT said it was false. We'd retrace. In the afternoon, give a signal to buy. Got the direction right. Made no call as to the magnitude. We didn't have to rally as much as we did. But when we did rally, it just rallied to resistance, but not through it. The close couldn't clear prior highs. We'll get into that more in just a minute. We're still thinking the high of this leg is in, even though I think it'll be surpassed later in the year. Here are some monthly Gann fan lines. This is a pattern which takes months to form. It's time to mark TDST lines on the monthly chart. We have 9 bars up. That's the setup. Usually after 9 bars like this, obeying his rules, you get a pullback of some kind. We have 7 bars in a row trading over the upper Bollinger Band. I think it's almost unprecedented. We're now under the band. Suggests a pullback's coming. You take the last 2 TDST lines. You can see the Fibonacci relationship gives some justification to a high at the year's high. We did call a low because the volume spiked, but that's really enough to satisfy it. The last time we had a spike, it just rallied for a day and then gave back. It's really enough. So far, all we've had is a valid break of a significant trend line and a rally back up to it, which is a retest. We said we had to go back up to this trend line, which we did. We're now back over it. When you go back over it that quickly, this break doesn't have to count. But if it is going to count, we should trade back under this trend line relatively soon. If we don't, the analysis just fails, that's all. But otherwise, we should trade back under this line. Let's just focus in on the wave count since the all-time high. Few things to look at here. First of all, we have this strong rally. Here's your close. Notice how it failed to close over any of these prior highs. So not only this strong rally to MEJT resistance failed to hold above resistance, it also failed to do anything more than retest prior highs and then fail to close over them. Now I did have blue A ending here. It doesn't break any rules if it ends here, and if it ends here, you've got great fibs with a high right at Friday's high. Doesn't mean that's the only count. And of course, if we trade over Friday's high, the whole idea is killed. We don't know if that'll happen or not. But if we do drop from here, it has ominous implications. Now this is a pattern with the early high and the late low. There's typically, here's your early high, here's your counter trend rally in the middle of the day, and there should be a last hour low. I don't see it. Could be the low came early, could be one of these. I'm not convinced. There should be a low, and if it doesn't come here, if this isn't it, then it can come late at Monday's open. If it does come late at Monday's open, it would be a non-confirmation of this rally, because All-day rallies on Friday typically follow through. When they don't, it's pretty ominous. So if we do get the last hour low at Monday's open, which can substitute for the last hour of Friday, it would show there's no follow-through to this rally, which would stop right at resistance and right at a big fib target and fail to clear any of these highs. Now, how bad could that be? Well, we're looking for us being in wave brown C, having some kind of relationship to brown A. If you take the height of blue A of brown C and compare it to blue A of brown A, you'll recall it was pretty close to a 23.6% relationship. Now, what's concerning about this high is if you take the height of blue B of brown C and compare it to the height of blue B of brown A, you get the same 23.6% relationship. So if this is the high, we don't know that yet, and if there's the same 23.6% relationship of the blue C's, we could have a big collapse taking us under 3,500. We have strong resistance at Friday's high. For a bull, you want to clear it, ideally by gapping over it. But I'm still not seeing the last hour low I expected to see. It wouldn't surprise me if we gapped down at Monday's open to give us that low. And if we did, it increases the chances we're in this blue C, a brown C, which could be a very steep, very ugly drop if that plays out. Monday's pattern has the early high, doesn't mean you won't gap down. By trading under Thursday's close, we confirmed as well the trendline break. Friday's rally went up to resistance, but it didn't clear it. It closed under prior highs, under MEJT resistance. Bulls need to overcome Friday's high promptly, ideally by gapping over it, or the resistance should win and lower prices print. There is a wave count, not the only count, but there is a wave count compatible with a collapse in prices if Friday's high holds. So I think the early trade is going to be important Monday. If you're a bull, you want to gap over this high. But if we move down smartly at Monday's open, which certainly wouldn't surprise me, it could be a long way down. Pattern has the early high. If we gap down, look out, and that's today's call.